Let's look at how Orlando Pirates' attack was composed of building up like this and why they were so dangerous in moments like this. We'll also look at how changing the positioning of Mbatha gave Pirates an advantage and how Pirates then pressed when they didn't have the ball. And last but not least, the things that Pirates did wrong in this game that almost cost them. Hello and welcome to the Cutback with me, Umpilo. Here we talk about South African football, so do make sure to subscribe to this channel for Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, and maybe some other teams that play good football analysis because, you don't want to miss that. Right, so let's start with Orlando Pirates when they were building up. And nothing much has changed really from last season because you still have China building up in the middle there. And then to his sides are the two center backs. And if you move a bit further forward, you will see that there is then Dancing and Mbatha, who are very close to each other in terms of how they position themselves, dropping to collect the ball, which then drags the defenders to follow them. And as this happens, you also have Tito Maswanganyi dropping into that space because if their sixes are pressed, that means there's space behind them, and then Maswanganyi can drop into that space to collect the ball. What you'll also notice is that as Maswanganyi drops to get the ball, also in Apolis up there, you're about to see him, gets to drop again to that space because Tito has now dropped, so Apolis also drops into that space. Notice the positioning of Apolis as well. He's not wide, but he's more on the half space because out wide there is Dion Hoto. As you continue looking up the pitch, what you'll also see is that Maswanganyi, after dropping, he then goes back and attacks that space because the whole point of him dropping is not just to collect the ball, but it's to also manipulate the press. So also, one thing that you'll notice that is very important is that while all of these other players drop, the paciest players usually just stay up. So the first two pacey players are the wing backs, which is Sibelebele on the right and then Hoto on the left. They stretch the pitch as much as possible, forcing the team to basically have gaps in between. Now, the last two people of the puzzle are the forwards. The right winger in Mremi, who's ready to run in behind, and Mbuthuma, who's ready to drop into that space there centrally, but is also very much ready to attack the space in behind, especially because Milford were trying to press really high. Now, let's look at another situation. This is Pirates building from the back, and you still see the same movements. In this case, the pivots here in Dancing and Mbatha are they ready to collect, and then you have Apolis dropping into that space, and then up there on top you have Uhoto stretching the pitch, up front you have Mbuthuma, and then you have Umremi stretching the pitch on the right, which means Usibelebele is somewhere here in the middle. And this does a few things. So as Hoto drops towards the ball, what's going to happen? The center backs now have to make a decision. The right back, he has to now move across and engage Uhoto. And as he engage Hoto, now this guy who's the center back has a decision to make. Does he move across, which then is going to create the space between him and his center back partner, or does it stay here, but then there's two people in that half space, in that space between the lines in Hoto, there are two people in that space, the first one being this one, Apolis, and then this one, Maswanganyi. So they are both running towards you. So now if you move across, you might risk leaving that space open. So he stays there, but now these guys continue moving. And you see the danger. Milford are sleeping. This guy does not see the person behind him. This one does not drop because if he does drop, he's also thinking Mbatha is going to get the ball. But Mbatha is not really too much of a concern because these two guys behind you are the ones who are taking the goal. So Pirates realize good, these guys are stretched. So what happens now? Maswanganyi stays there, Apolis stays there, and then they are now chasing the ball into that space. Fortunately for them, it's offside. But you can see this kind of movement, Uguti. They drop towards the ball, and then all of a sudden they attack space. And it doesn't end there. Watch here now. Maswanganyi moves to the wide space, right? And Pirates have realized that these guys are playing high line. So there is 5 Pirates players who are all making the same run forward. Well, not the same run, but they are pinning the defenders back, and Maswanganyi can go and pick the pass. Now what you're gonna see, Apolis right here has switched momentarily with Umremi. He has switched with Umremi to come to the side. And as we've seen with Apolis, he's the one, whether he's on the right or on the left, who's going to drop towards the ball. So here he drops towards the ball, and then the runners or Sibelebele can now run in behind, cross the ball, and if Pirates execute this better, they score. But they don't. But even though they don't score, look at how many Pirates players are in and around the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Pirates players in the box, which makes it easy when they lose the ball, because now there's an 8th player, Umbata, who is pushed up, and they now counter press and win the ball back. And in winning the ball back, they end up winning a free kick, and then Apolis scores. Pirates go 1 goal up. So the attacking shape of Pirates is also their defensive shape in a way, because how they attack also helps them to recover the ball when they lose it. Which then brings us to the next thing, which is Pirates keeping those players, last example, up front. Now, Sibelebele is wide, because we saw in the previous one, he's the one who was where Tito is. And now when the ball is played, it's played back. Melford obviously will take the bait, and they press up. Now what's going to happen? Tito, we talked about it earlier, is going to drop into that space, drag the defender with him, and as the defender follows him, now you see he has turned and is now attacking that space. Same thing that was happening on the left hand side. I want to show you something. Same thing that happened on the left hand side with Hoto in the example earlier. Sibelebele is free here on the right, and then the defender gets drawn wide to press him. And what happens after that? You now have the same thing we're talking about in the other side. There's that space between the left back and the center back. And just like it happened on the left-hand side, it's happening on the right-hand side. Maswanganyi is now running into that space. So remember that example where it was offside? Now it's an example where it's not offside and the ball is played through. Maswanganyi now takes the ball and he runs with it. And as he takes the ball here, he eventually gets around, and unfortunately the cross is not that good. But then again, you see the same thing with that happened with the goal. A lot of Pirates players in the box, so if the chance falls around or for any one of them, they are able to score the goal. Let's now go to how Pirates transitioned from defending to attack. So this is 81-13, right? Pirates are transitioning from their defensive shape to their attacking shape. They've won the ball and now they are going forward. 81-13 they started. This was not offside. They were robbed here because the ball is played here and the player who I think it was, what's the name of this kid? Hositsile gets the ball. He's making a run from inside his box and he could have scored and it's not an offside. But you see how dangerous they are in these transitional moments. Here's another moment. Pirates are once again defending. They recover the ball. And then it's 81-56. And now, in a split second, look at this. The ball is moved around quickly. And now just one drop of a shoulder, they are through and they play the ball. And in this case, when the ball gets to Uradiopane, if it wasn't slightly overhit, it would have been dangerous. But this happens within 17 seconds. But then Uradiopane is not that quick. And then here's another opportunity as well. This one leads to the goal. Milford are attacking, right? And then they play the ball. Let me just go back. Look at this. They're attacking, it's 84-37, right? And then they're attacking, they play the ball. Siema intercepts. Look at the time, 84-39. The moment Siema wins the ball, his head is up and then he plays Umremi through. Remember, it was 84-39. 5 seconds later, Umremi is behind the defense. And 11 seconds from when they won the ball is crossing over the line. And it's 2-0 for Orlando Pirates. And it could have been 3 if it wasn't for that wrong call by the ref. Now, Pirates obviously were not just playing by transition or building up with the 2, because sometimes you would have Umbata dropping alongside, because most teams will press with the 2, like you see here. These guys are pressing with 2. So if they are pressing with 2 players, if you drop your 6 between the center backs, then you're going to have a 3 versus 2 in the build-up. And then now Siema is free. So now he can now start doing his things and picking his passes. And that's not the only time, because I always bring more evidence, because there are some people who will say, oh, it happened once. So here we are again. You see what's happening? These two guys are trying to press, and then Usiama is now free on the right, and they can now play the ball further up the pitch. It's not the only example, because you also see here they're building from the back. This time around, it's not Usiama who's free, because now these two guys are caught up pressing on the other side, and even Dancing in this case drops to help with the build-up. And as a result, Usbis is free. If he does better here, he plays it back to Dancing, and then they kind of draw Milford to one side. And now, from here, you can see that the runners are ready to make the runs in behind, but Pirates are not quick enough to exploit this, but it's there for the taking. 1, 2, 3 passes, and then Pirates are in behind again. Dangerous. Now let's look at how Pirates were pressing, because Milford had more position in this game. So they were pressing with the 4-4-2. In fact, it did start as a 4-2-3-1 with Tito just behind, and then it would join Mbutuma later on. But to make things simple, it just looked like a 4-4-2 for the most part. And in this 4-4-2 shape, whenever Pirates got the ball into the side, because the 4-4-2, if you look here, it's designed in this case to try and block any central progression. So then you force the ball to go wide. And once the ball has gone wide, everyone now has to run towards the ball, press it, and then turn it over. Like it happens here, forces a throw in, and then Milford lose the ball. Here's another example. Pirates are pressing. They are not that aggressive with just trying to win the ball, but they are preventing ball from going through the middle. You see, they're not allowing the ball to go centrally, so they go back again. They can't go centrally. There are no options, so the ball goes wide. And now watch Pirates. This is where now they are preventing the ball from going back to the keeper, forcing Milford to go long. And if Milford goes long, you know what's going to happen. There are defenders of Orlando Pirates who are quite good in those situations. And then here's another one. Pirates are pressing again, the two players up front, and then the ball is played to the side. Now look at Tito once again. He's preventing the pass again to the keeper, and then centrally you have Vutansin and Mbutuma preventing the ball from coming to the center. So once again, Milford are forced to go long. And any day of the week and twice on Sundays, Pirates are going to deal with that ball in behind quite comfortably. Now let's look at the mistakes that Pirate made. Starting with Umremi. Umremi gets the ball early on in the match. Simple pass, he fails to make it. Now all of a sudden, Milford are in a counter, and the ball is played because Pirates outnumbered. It goes forward. This guy is supposed to make the right pass to his left, but his head is not up, so he makes the wrong pass. Sbis intercepts. Again, he makes that pass, but now Sbilibele is quick enough to recover. The chances were wasted. Here's the second one. Pirates are playing. It's such a simple thing, but you can do better than this. He forces a pass into the middle, and in him doing that, Milford overturns the ball. Mchita just play the through ball. That's simple. Play the through ball. He doesn't. He chooses to want to go by himself. He's just selfish because he wanted the glory for himself. It doesn't happen. Here's another one. Pirates are playing. Usbisi chooses the difficult part. Play the ball to China, like literally. Play to China, and then China is going to play the ball here. What does he do instead? Nope, he decides to try and chip it, but then he recovers because this 2v1 is wasted. Doesn't end there, because here's another one. Upaote again loses the ball. Well, doesn't lose the ball. He passes Umremi, and then Umremi is swamped immediately. And instead of passing the ball early on, he doesn't. Tries to dribble, and then again he loses the ball. Chances wasted. Last example. Here, Umbata is winning the ball. He's the one who wins the ball. And then he's being pressed. He kind of passes the ball back to Milford. The ball is played through, and then Milford failed to take advantage. So this is just a good show of how Pirates are good in building up, how they can change their shape, they can kill you in counters, but at the same time, how they sometimes looked uncomfortable, especially when they're under pressure, because some mistakes were, like the Moremo one, were unforced, but some of them were pretty much forced, like the ones that I showed you towards the end. So this is going to be an interesting this is going to be an interesting to watch, because now will teams press Pirates seeing that there are some mistakes in them, or are they just going to sit in their shape and try to hit them on counters, which Pirates seem to deal with very well? I don't know. You let me know down in the comment section below. I know you're a Chiefs fan. You are asking when is the Chiefs analysis coming. It's coming later on today, hopefully, or tomorrow, because I want you to watch the Pirates video first, and then we'll do that. Subscribe, share this with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep on watching football. Football is life. Chiefs.